Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here at the City of Flint Dome today. This is another great day. God has brought us together for some great and exciting news for this community. This has been just a wonderful, wonderful start of a new year and a new economic development time for this community. Today we're talking about the $94.7 million that's been released, the high-minded legislative action that took place in Washington, D.C. to help communities all throughout our country recover from the pandemic. We've been spending some of our money already on the high priority pieces for the residents of this community. 40% of the dollars have already been spent. We have to obligate these dollars by 2024 to be able to be spent by 2026. So we want to make sure we took our time to make sure that these dollars would have a great impact on this community in a transformational way, and making sure that these dollars will not miss its mark. I took a chance early on when we got these dollars on, and I provided a guarantee saying that we will make sure that these dollars will hit their mark, and we'll be able to track these dollars from their start to their expiration. We hired a company, Ernst & Young, a top 4 company, accounting firm throughout the country to be able to help us with this process. We enlisted the services and help of our philanthropic community as well. As well, we have also partnered with our council. With the ad hoc committee, we have Councilwoman from the 2nd Ward, Dr. Liddell Lewis, is here with us today as well. Also, now we are enlisting the services of residents in this community to be able to help us pick the organizations that's going to be helping to disperse these dollars for residents. We have dispersed these dollars in a fair way, a very balanced way, a way that I found out when I just returned from the conference of U.S. mayors in Washington, D.C., that we are ahead of the curve in the way that we're executing upon these American Rescue Plan dollars, because we're taking our time, making sure that everyone has a level of positively impacted their lives. We also reduced the water cost for residents inside the city of Flint last year by 1/4, giving an equitable $300 credit to every residential customer inside the city of Flint, effectively reducing their water cost by 1/4. Also demolition, putting $16 million of our ARPA dollars forward in partnership with the county and also our philanthropic partners that made those dollars turn into $39.5 million. So we're scheduled to demo more than 2,200 homes this upcoming years by 2024. Also economic development, helping to revitalize Buick City, the 3rd largest brownfield site in the state of Michigan, right here to be able to help economic growth with a $300 million development. This all really spells out about a level of partnership. When we look at what has happened in this region over the last year and a half, more than $1 billion, and that's with a B, of economic development through our partners, private, public, and also goodwill. The $579 million investment that General Motors made just the other day, $300 million investment that Ashley Capital is going to be doing at the Buick City site, $220 million from the state of Michigan to help us with our legacy costs here in the city of Flint. And that totals more than $1 billion worth of economic investment within the last year and a half. Now we're going to enlist the services of our partners, making sure that we can get some of these dollars to our residents, making sure it's going to be a fair and equitable disbursement. At noon today, probably less than 45 minutes, the official application will go live on our website. People can obtain this application from the City of Flint website, cityofflint.com. Go to our page and go to the application, and they will be able to secure the application. If they need help, we will have technical support, and Lottie Ferguson, Chief Resilient Officer, is going to talk a little bit more about that. But definitely, these dollars are one-time dollars, transformational dollars, and they'll be used in many different ways to be able to have a transformational effect on this community. That's one of the things that we said that we were going to do, and we're doing it. And so in the past, people couldn't really recognize when we had a level of investment, high-minded dollars coming to this community, people had a hard time recognizing where those dollars went, and they could not see it in their everyday existence. But these dollars, we will. And so I want to thank Liddell Lewis, Judy Priestley, which was the ad hoc committee from the City Council. We're going to be announcing 12 residents that will be helping select the organizations that will be picked for this $15 million portion of the ARPA dollars going forth. And they helped pick those as well. 99 applicants were submitted for this particular job, but we're going to be taking 12. And so right now, our finance director, Rob Whittingham, is going to come and talk a little bit more about the process in which we went about doing this. And this is going to be great. This is a wonderful and exciting, transformational day in this community. The goal here is changing the city of Flint to a destination site in the state of Michigan, not only in the county, but definitely we are on our way. And I want to thank all of our partners today. And I'll return after you hear from Rob Whittingham. Come on up, Rob.
Good morning. Rob Whittingham, Chief Financial Officer for the City of Flint. So I'm here to talk about the process of how the City of Flint's finance team over the years has been building up for projects exactly like this. So we are ready and eager to quickly distribute these one-time dollars into our community. With the partnership of Ernst & Young, which has been in place for over a year now, the Ernst & Young team and the city will ensure compliance with these federal dollars, guaranteeing that these dollars hit their mark and that no federal dollars are sent back to the federal government. As the mayor mentioned, these dollars must be spent by December 31st of 2026. And just to do a quick overview, as the mayor mentioned, about $37.9 million has already been allocated through the process. Just to give a quick summary of the highlighted ones, as the mayor mentioned, $8.9 million has been distributed to Flint residents for water bill relief. That was in the payment of $300 per resident. $16 million has been allocated for demolition for hazardous and blighted buildings throughout the city. $3.25 million has been allocated, as the mayor mentioned, for Buick City for the redevelopment of that. $2.7 million in premium pay for our essential workers. $2.17 million for Miller Road water main project. $500,000 for public safety recruitment to ensure that the city is attracting and retaining our police and fire staff to provide the services that our residents expect and deserve. $121,000 for the Office of Public Health to ensure that residents are able to have access to lead filters for their waters and homes and any kind of health needs that they have. $74,000 in speed humps to help slow down our speeders in the city to ensure safety for our residents, and $58,000 for blight equipment for the city to help ensure that we're going around and cleaning up our blighted areas throughout the city. I'm going to turn it back over to Mayor.
Thank you. And so, as you see, that we've been actually expending some of these dollars for the improvement of the quality of life for residents inside this great city. So some of the misnomers have been out there that we've not been using these dollars, but we have been using these dollars very effectively and very well. Right now, I want to bring up Lottie Ferguson, our resilient coordinator, to talk about this $15 million and what is the uses that can be used for these dollars once these applications are filled out and then awarded.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. My name is Lottie Ferguson. I'm the Chief Resilience Officer here at the City of Flint, and I am thrilled to be a part of this project and making sure that we get dollars out to our community to ensure that we can make that these dollars are transformational. First, I do want to say, as the Mayor mentioned, that the applications will be available online at noon, cityoflint.com/ARPA, A-R-P-A. There will be a link there that will take you to a portal. You need to register, and once you get your information in, you'll be able to see the opportunities for funding that are available. The deadline will be March 27th at 5 p.m. Applications, we do want to reiterate that applications are not available for individuals at this time. The application is for organizations, nonprofit organizations, community organizations, businesses to apply for these dollars, and then at that time, those folks who are awarded the dollars will be able to provide direct services to residents. Opportunities included in this launch are under the category of housing and blight elimination. There'll be grants for alternative uses of vacant lots, neighborhood cleanup, homeowner education, home repair and improvement, and gap financing for residential and mixed-use projects. Under economic development, there is youth job training, small business grants program. And under public health, there is funding available for health equity, access, and research, increased food access, mental health referrals and support services, and youth wellness that includes education, leadership, and recreation. Again, cityoflint.com/ARPA will have all of the information that you will need. There's also support available to those who may not have completed a federal application before. There are a lot of requirements that go into this process. We need to make sure that the City of Flint stays compliant. We, as the mayor said, have no intentions on returning any money or having to pay back funds because there were misjudgments in the spending. There are five technical assistance providers that are available to directly help organizations complete their application. North Flint Neighborhood Action Council, the Neighborhood Engagement Hub, Flint Innovative Solutions, the Power Initiative, and Social Impact Philanthropy and Investing, or SIPI. And there are a couple of those providers are in the room with us today. If you could stand and be recognized, we would appreciate it. We thank you sincerely for joining us in this process and ensuring that people who want to apply for these funds have the ability to do so. Thank you so much. So there are a number of documents that will be required for the organizations to apply for the funds, and we mention these because we want to make sure that people are well aware at the beginning, at the onset, what will be required. And again, if you reach out to one of those technical assistance providers, they can assist you with the application. If you don't need help, you don't think you don't need their assistance, then go for it. There are directions on the application that we hope are pretty self-explanatory to help people get through that process. But organizations will have to be registered with the IRS. Their filing status and EIN number will be required. They will be required to provide descriptions of their project and also a project budget. They must have a certificate of good standing from Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, provide an organizational budget, provide a recent audit. There will be a number of other things that are required, and those are listed on the frequently asked questions page and in the website, in the portal that's on the website. Mayor?
You know, with this robust program, you know, we wanted to expand the tentacles of support around our community. These organizations and entities is going to be helping us out. They have a level of expertise and specialty that they can be able to help and assist residents where they are. This is about partnership, and this is about reaching out. We're at the cutting edge of the best practices in the country as it relates to our ARPA dollars. And one of the things we want to do is take our time to also thank our city council. I'm going to invite Dr. Liddell Lewis, the city council vice president, up to the stage to talk a little bit about the ad hoc committee from the council, which her and Judy Priestley serves on. But definitely, we want to make sure that people have a clear understanding about how this process works. The official application will be released in 39 minutes at 12 noon, right? That is the official process. Residents, let's pay attention to how we can get the help that you need. We have provided a level of concierge service for technical support for those organizations with 5 people that will be able to assist them through the application process. Residents then will be able to go about making sure that we pick the great organizations that's going to be able to be supported, which is a group of 12 from 99 applicants. And then residents will be able to go make their application with those organizations to get the help that they need. Dr. Liddell Lewis.
Good morning. It's definitely a great day in the city of Flint. It's a day that we've been looking forward to for quite some time. The day that we're going to finally release some ARPA funding. We're going to open up the portal so individuals can begin to apply. The ad hoc committee has been working in tandem with philanthropy and also with administration to make sure that we have the best process possible. You heard many people say, well, other people have allocated money, other people got it done. Well, it's not about getting it done right now, it's about getting it right. And the great part is we have been working to get it right. Using our various expertise in the area of evaluation and also with dealing with philanthropy, within their area of expertise of allocation in terms of setting up committees, we all have come together to do something great, to put together I'll say the most objective way of receiving funds and allocating these funds that's probably in the country. So I'm proud to be on the ad hoc committee. I'm proud to give relevant, great information that is reliable, information that the residents can stand on, because we don't want anyone to be misinformed. We noticed throughout this process there's been a lot of misinformation, and I'll say no information. Today, that's going to come to an end. And so I encourage others, if you would like more information about the process, to tune in to the city council meeting tonight, because we're going to have a special order, and we're going to discuss some of the other details that we cannot go through during this press conference. But this is definitely a great day in the city of Flint. I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to be a part of moving the city forward. Thank you, Mayor.
So with that, we'll take a few questions, but definitely I want you to be able to go to the City of Flint website to be able to take a look at how we already expend the 40% of dollars for demolition, economic growth, health, public safety, and other things that have already been dispensed. We have until 2026 to be able to do this, make these dollars transformational, and we will do that. And we are ahead of the curve. As I said, just coming back from Washington, D.C. at the U.S. Conference of Mayors, we are definitely providing the best practices for the rest of the country to follow. Any questions? Katie, did you have something? Okay. Yep.
What's your advice to people who filled out those forms that are being distributed by the city council, they say $7 million worth? What's your advice to the people who have done that, who still are hoping for some relief from these funds?
We'll go through the official process. The official process is now starting at 12 noon with the official application with our official partners that we're looking to obtain very soon. So it's not over for those individuals. I think those individuals are definitely deservingly of need. They came out and spent their time. It was unfortunate that they were had a misunderstanding or were misinformed about that particular application. We went through a series of meetings throughout the community to look at what the list of priorities were going to be for residents inside the city. We put those priorities into a bucket, and then we started to execute upon some of the more emerging needs for residents. But those applications, I would encourage those residents to go through the official process after we select the organizations to provide the services in which they need. Yep, did you have something?
Yeah, I did want to add to that. We do understand that there are a number of people who are in need of services, and they are more than likely frustrated with the process and the announcement today that individuals are not eligible for this portion of the process. However, we do understand that these dollars are limited. We've got right on the screen behind us that there's $5 million available for home repair, and according to what you've just mentioned, there's over $7 million in need. We want to make sure that people understand that ARPA is not the only resource available to them. There are a number of organizations in the community that can help them get repairs to their home, and those opportunities are available immediately.
Yes, Don.
Will there be a portion of our funds that will be set aside for individuals to apply for?
Not,
Individuals in the city, or will it all go through nonprofits?
well, the individuals, the answer is yes, right? But the individuals will be applying to those nonprofits. Just to give an example, like Habitat or just that specializes in rehab and repair. Those organizations will be able to solicit the applications from the residents. The applications cannot be made directly to us. Now, remember, ARPA dollars came with a set of rules, came with a set of conditions. We will follow all rules as it relates to these. We have to comply with the federal mandate that came down with these dollars. And Ernst & Young has been making sure that we can comply and that we will turn in great results for the dollars that were invested in this community. Yes, in the back, well, yeah, oh, yeah.
So what's the timeline for when are the organizations actually going to be awarded?
Well, first they have to make the applications, and then we're closing, Lottie, you want to share?
Sure, the applications are open today at noon. They'll be available until March 27th at 5 o'clock p.m. And so the process to select those, I'm expecting to take around 60 days, 30 to 60 days minimum. And then they could be awarded funds provided they have provided all the appropriate documentation, and then they'll be able to work with residents to get those issues and those programs out at that time.
So review process 30 to 60 days.
I'm anticipating that the review process will be about that length of time. It is highly, highly dependent on the number of applications that we receive.
And are these like 2-year grants?
So we have to make sure that all dollars are obligated by the end of 2024, and all dollars have to be spent by the end of 2026. So we are anticipating that programs or services will have up to 45 months to be able to expend the funds.
Yes, Paul?
It sounds like these are grants, so they don't have to be repaid. However, if you have a project that's just looking for a 20-year loan, is that a possibility in the scheme?
Well, I think that's a separate question from these dollars that's going to be released, because we still have additional dollars available to us from the remaining portion of our ARPA dollars. And I think I hear you, a repayable loan for businesses or something in that nature. Well, I think we could talk about that with some of the other dollars that we still have remaining. But I want you to know what we're doing here is we're making these dollars as an investment and multiplying these dollars. We have homeowner repair programs, winterization programs. We have other programs of state dollars and local dollars, accompanied with other federal dollars. We want to make sure we maximize this level of investment. These are one-time dollars. These dollars will not repopulate. But if we can partner with other organizations and other entities to be able to maximize their level of investment, each one of these ARPA dollars is our vision to be able to turn into 3 or 4 or 5 other additional dollars for service for residents. And that is our goal, and that's why we're partnering with so many other organizations. And so we don't have to spearhead something new outside of the traditional way that we've been doing this for decades. But these dollars are to be used as mechanisms and magnets to be able to provide services for residents. Yes.
December 6th, when the ARPA community advisory board was announced, that amount for the grant fund program was $18 million, and now it's 15.6. Where was the other $3 million?
Sure, there was approximately $2 million council approved for a project in relation to Clark Commons, and there is also about $375,000 in small business programs that is not in this release that will be released later. Application will be released later. Can you repeat that?
Is that part of the grant funding program anymore?
It's not at this time. It will be released later.
So some of that, just to add additional to it, it's very important to take care of our homeless population and finding dollars for affordable housing for residents, affordable, safe housing for residents, and also tackling, the homelessness issue inside of our community. And so we want to make sure that we focus a little bit on that as well, just not all of these programs. Yes.
Yes, after you find out who's eligible to get the grant, how do we know, who gets it, where we can go apply, get something fixed in our house?
Yep, all those details will be made available on our website, but definitely we have to go through this process to get to the next step. But definitely, we keep residents in mind, right? We know we have a aging infrastructure, people on low to moderate income levels that needs repair to their homes, and it is our desire to make sure that we take care of those families. We don't want blight to continue to grow in our community because people cannot afford to keep up their structures or their homes. We're demolishing 2,200 homes now, right? That's taking dollars away, but we much rather invest in trying to help residents be able to fix the things that they have to around their homes, to keep them in their homes and keep it at a good quality of life and living. But this is a part of the process. This is a part of the structure. And we're going to go through it effectively and efficiently, and definitely we're going to get to that particular point. And one more question. Not you. I want to get a question for somebody who hadn't had a question. Yes.
So tell me if I'm mistaken, you mentioned that a specific number of these funds are going to community organizations. So is there a specific number where the funds are going to be split? I know you mentioned the number.
Can you ask that question again? I'm not clear on what you're.
I guess, how many organizations is this $15 million? Is it this split number? I guess, do you all have a specific number, or like how are you all deciding how many organizations it goes to?
It will be, again, highly dependent on the number of applications we receive and what the requests and the budgets are in those applications. For example, I think there is $2 million available for health care, equity, and access and research. If we get two organizations that ask for $1 million apiece, as opposed to multiple organizations that are asking for a piece of that, that would obviously change the number of organizations that are funded.
So no specific number?
There is no specific number, yes.
And I want you to keep in mind, right? Remember this, because we get so far down the road and sometimes deep into the weeds. These dollars were released upon America because of the pandemic. COVID-19 devastated communities and families across the country. And these dollars were initially released to backfill some of the loss that communities faced, much like the city of Flint. So these dollars also will be going, not these $15 million, but additional dollars that we have left aside to be able to supplement areas that were in need and had loss because of the pandemic. And that's where we are. And that's why these initial dollars were delivered. It wasn't just a gift to communities. It was to resupplement areas that where we had definitely a big deficit. And Rob, you want to talk a little bit about that? Well, no, just the fact that where these dollars were initially released for the purpose of.
Yes, I can speak up. So yeah, as Mayor was discussing, these dollars were kind of a gift to the community with a lot of strings attached. So the initial goal when Treasury and the U.S. government released these was to obviously address the pandemic that we were going through, to address the issue of economic inequality with those who were out of work for 2 or more years, to address infrastructure issues, projects that hadn't been addressed over the years of COVID-19, and then also to replenish funds that local governments in our community lost due to, for example, lack of income tax from people coming into work. So these dollars were released with a very targeted mindset from the federal government with extensive amount of rules and regulations attached for how they can be spent throughout the community to help lift us all up from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Right, with that, we'll have one-on-ones if you have additional questions, but we definitely want to wrap this up because we got about maybe a few more minutes so my staff can get ready. We got 24 minutes before the release of the applications. But I want to thank all of our partners. It is a blessing to be able to do this, but definitely we have additional dollars in other places that we want to be able to make sure residents have an understanding about, right? We have dollars from G-Card, we have dollars from Catholic Charities, we have dollars from many other places, but we want to steer people to that, and that's why we're going to be adopting a more concierge type of service for residents. People are in need, and they want to get to the place where they can get the help that they deserve. And so we're doing that here in the city of Flint, but it's a process. Thank you guys. God bless.